Hey everyone! Alright, well, it looks like this week's magazine is called Too Dry for a Toad. This came to us from Scholastic News, and it says beneath the title, "This spadefoot toad lives in the desert. It almost never rains there, but the toads need water to lay their eggs so that the new toads can grow. How does it survive in this hot, dry habitat? It has to race against the sun." If you get into this magazine and want to learn more, you can always log in to the site just below this video. Here is a dance break, the vocabulary from the issue, a movie, and even a game about these spadefoot toads. Here we go. Racing against the sun. I'm kind of in the way here, so I'm going to scoot down here with the frog. Toad, I should say. It's another hot, dry day in the desert. The bright sun beats down. A spadefoot toad rests deep under the ground. It spends most of the day buried in the sand. See, the sand is cooler, and the toad waits until it's just the right time to come out. The desert is quiet and still, but things are about to change. Desert rain. A storm rolls in, and rain starts to pour. Now, this is a really big deal. It hardly ever rains in the dry desert. Now water flows over the sand, and it forms little pools. It forms streams. The spadefoot toad hears the rain. The sound tells the toad it's time to leave its underground home, and it crawls up to the surface. Just as suddenly as the rain started, it stops. The desert sand is wet, and it's covered in puddles. There is water in the desert, but it won't be there for long. Egg time. The toad does something it can only do after a rainstorm. It hops into the puddle, and it lays hundreds of eggs in the water. Those eggs will hatch into tadpoles. And these tadpoles will go through a change called a metamorphosis. Their bodies will change. That's what it means. They will grow into adult toads. But there is just one problem. Life cycle race. The tadpoles need water to live and grow, but the sun makes those puddles dry up and evaporate quickly. The water turns into a gas and rises into the air. The toads must go through their whole life cycle before those pools dry up. In places where it's always wet, it can take 2 months for the change. But in this desert, there's no time for such a long life cycle. So spadefoot toads have a way to survive in this habitat. Spadefoot toads go through their change very quickly to race or beat the sun. Some tadpoles grow all the way into toads in just 8 days. Many of the tadpoles will not survive. They will not turn into adults before the water dries up. But some lucky tadpoles will survive, and they will become toads. They will go underground, and they'll stay cool and safe. And they'll wait until the next rain. Then after that, the whole life cycle starts over again, right? Here we have tadpoles that hatch from eggs in a sandy puddle. And if you look at the back of this magazine, you'll see a chart that describes 3 different habitats where you could find toads. The pond habitat, the rainforest habitat, and my favorite, the background or backyard habitat. After you read about those habitats, there are a couple questions for you to answer. Okay? Send it my way. I'd love to see your best work. And don't forget about the video and playing the game. Thanks, guys.